Hi,
My name's Daria. Welcome to Scrum Masters video series
Hi, my name's Daria. Welcome to Scrum Master, the video series where I give you practical tips on how to build awesome teams. In today's video, I wanted to answer one of the questions that I usually get from Scrum Masters who are just starting in the field. The question that I usually get is, does Scrum Master have to be technical? And it is a really good question because a Scrum Master usually works with development teams. A lot of them are infrastructure teams that work with some very difficult technical concepts, and it's a natural question wanting to know, do you actually need to understand all the nitty-gritty details of what these teams are working on? One of the reasons there is confusion about that is that a lot of the companies who hire Scrum Masters, especially the companies who are still kind of in transition trying to figure things out, they put in their job description that a Scrum Master has to have a degree in computer science. And to be honest, I don't think that it actually is required. While understanding how the whole cycle works, how development works, and how developers need to go through different stages to deliver the product makes sense, it doesn't mean that you actually have to be a developer to be a Scrum Master. One of the reasons why you actually don't need to have a computer science degree or be very technical to be a really good Scrum Master is the fact that as a Scrum Master, you work with people and processes. So it's not really the technology, right? While a lot of the practices that you might want to implement are related to technology, it doesn't mean that you need to know how it all works. Because at the end of the day, when you work with people, you work with the communication aspects of that, you work with the people behaviors, and that's what it all is about. There are obviously some advantages for a Scrum Master to be technical. For example, when you join a new team, it is much easier to actually build relationships with the team because they will know that you understand their technical process and you will understand what kind of challenges they're facing. And in this case, it will be easier for you as a Scrum Master to suggest and implement different techniques, especially on the technical side, because they will know that you understand the way they work, so they will be more open and acceptable for new practices to be implemented by you. On the same time, there are some disadvantages. For example, when you're very technical, you have very technical background, when you join in a new team, you might start having some ideas of implementations the team is making on the technical side, not actually in the process or practices. So sometimes when there is a discussion going on and people are discussing how they're going to solution different work items, you might want to actually jump in and start sharing your solutions or your ideas on how to implement this item of work. And it's not really a good thing for a Scrum Master to help the team figure out technical implementations because your focus is on the processes, on the people and communication, and you should be able to step away, and with the technical background, it might be a little bit more difficult for you to do. Me, for example, I don't have a computer science degree and I don't really come from a technical background. I was a content manager before I became a Scrum Master. So I was able to figure out how the teams work when I was working with them, and I was able to understand what kind of challenges they face and what kind of process they need to go through to do their work. So you can figure it out too, even if you don't come from a technical background. And that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to cover, is that even if you do not have a technical background, you still can be a great Scrum Master and do not get swayed by a lot of job descriptions that say that you have to have a computer science degree to be a Scrum Master. You don't. But be sure to actually understand how the whole development process works, because it will be much easier for you to understand your team if you understand generally the process. I hope you learned something new today about the Scrum Master role and Agile in general. And I actually don't have a question for you this time. So how about that? Ask me a question in the comments or on scrummaster.com blog, or shoot me an email and maybe I can answer it in my next video. And while you're at the blog, remember to subscribe to my emails. I am sending emails every month with different tips and tricks for Scrum Masters. Connect with me on LinkedIn and subscribe to this YouTube channel so that we can grow this community together. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. Cheers and Scrum on!